Hey all and welcome back to Sonic Chronicles. It's time for Chapter 3, in which there may be a hunt of the egg variety. We have Big on our side, we have Knuckles back now, Angel Island is apparently pissed off. Rouge raises an excellent point. How the fuck do Angel Island flow? And don't tell me magic, 'cause it's clearly not magic.
Master Emerald magic, that's what it fucking is.
Jesus.
Yeah, basically.
Fucking precursor miracles.
Yeah, basically the same shit.
So, what can we expect in this? I actually remember the boss at the end of this, and, I mentioned a couple of hours ago that it may or may not be a little bit dickish.
Okay, I couldn't make out a word of that, but sure.
It might just be my paranoia talking, but I swear a dog barked after I finished saying that.
Well, you see, that was my dog barking, and now because you brought it up like a twat, you can't just cut it out.
Well, it adds flavour. It adds flavour.
Okay, but yeah, we've got Knuckles back, and you asked me what we're going to be doing here. I think the chapter should kind of give it away that we're going to be hunting Eggman.
Oh, I wanted to find some Easter eggs.
That's not what it is, sadly.
Yeah, no, we're hunting for that egg, which, I mean, delightful, yay. I mean, I'm sure Rouge would love it because it sounds very sexual.
What? I swear he's coming up with these more and more just to fuck with me at this point. Let's just focus on that bridge that seemingly goes to nowhere. Or maybe there's a portal inside the cloud that leads to Empire City. Knowing this game's hodgepodge of stuff. And maybe it was a bit of cross-promotion for Unleashed. I don't fucking know. Let's go.
Yeah, no, it was just a fucking bridge to nowhere. Who cares? But yeah, I did like how no one took Big seriously then, and then when he came up with his idea of a group hug, it was kind of justified that no one took him seriously then.
So, does Knuckles have access to Smash 2, whereas Amy didn't? How does that field move thing actually work exactly?
The field moves, the different characters, they have different ones they can learn. Some of them can level up the field moves as they level up in game level.
Right.
Some of them have like a cap of 1, a cap of 2, or a cap of 3. So as you get later on in the game, when you need the more advanced field moves, you will need a certain character for certain spots.
Yeah.
Thankfully, there's not many where that's mandatory. It's mostly for things like getting the Chow eggs and getting more rings and things like that. So there's not really many points where they force you to use a certain team lineup for the most part.
I got it.
I do appreciate it. It gives you a degree of flexibility with how you play the game, even though there are like usually a good setup for certain bosses to have.
Yeah, for sure. Like, Knuckles is better on enemies that like have heavy armor. I guess Tails would be good there. I'm gonna be honest, out of all the characters, I never found a use for Rouge. I do not know what her role, RPG-wise, is meant to be.
Agreed.
She's sort of a hitter, like, during this early game phase, I like to use her dual attack that kind of hits everyone at once, and it's just like a useful little chip thing, but as you get further in the game, you get much better options for basically everything.
Yeah, and I know the obvious answer would be, she's a thief, she can steal items, but I like to have party members that have some sort of offensive capabilities as well, so at least for me in the early game, Rouge was a non-entity, really. But getting back to Knuckles here, he can climb up walls as his special thing, and he can also smash stuff. And Cream was missing her Chow, and there he is.
Why the fuck was he up here on his own? I don't know.
I don't know, Cheese just wanted some cheese time, I suppose.
Okay then, he gets melted down, put on a pizza, works for me.
The real question here is, where the fuck is Chocola Chow?
It's very true.
Chocola was a plot point that got forgotten about after Heroes, because that's how important he was. And yeah, completing the side quests does give you experience as well, so it's useful to do a few as you go along, just to build your levels up. I'll be doing quite a few in this chapter, honestly, like the next part is going to be almost entirely side quests, so we see a few different things going on around here. For the time being, I just want to get like Cream in my party as soon as possible because she's like the win button.
She literally is, like, especially with the specific Chow. Oh boy. That's gonna be game destruction central. And I kind of admire the balls of a game to have such a thing in there, to be confident enough to put such a mechanic in that it basically breaks the game in half. Although the other school of thought is they put it in and didn't think about it, so...
That is most likely what happened. It seems like another thing where there was probably meant to be like some kind of nerf to it that never got implemented properly or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the sort of thing, it would probably be balanced if it was maybe like once a battle or maybe a few times a battle, and so you couldn't just spam it.
Yeah.
You kind of had to at least like earn some of your heals, but no, because there's this setup. I suppose there is also the fact that it is one of the like rarest kinds of chow that aren't event specific. Because yeah, there are some like, I think they're listed as viral chow. There were intended to be events to distribute them, like, you know how Pokemon gives away legendary Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that ever happened.
Like, see, look at all these like status change things. We've got refresh, demoralize, cure, revive, heal, tough. I don't think I use demoralize all that much, but let me tell you, heal and refresh certainly gonna work out.
Oh yeah.
Refresh is the reason why I'm getting Cream here. And it's like, this is not the first time that Cream has been OP as fuck either, is it? Because she was OP in Advanced too as well. It's like, what the fuck is with this little fucking child rabbit?
I guess that's the lesson Sonic Team wanted to impart. Philosophy-wise, small things can hide major power.
We're not still talking about Knuckles' 4 things here, you know.
First of all, my bro Knuckles wouldn't really care for you implying that he is full small peni. Second of all, maybe I should just not open my mouth and you can do the whole commentary yourself. How'd you like that?
Not going to open the mouth for Knuckles, are you?
I deserve that. I walked right into it.
You really fucking did.
So, what now then, Flame? More side quest, I suppose? Oh, beep 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 boop.
When you go to certain areas on the map, it triggers these little calls that prompts you to go to the next place and get the next thing. That was a good job of me trying to go into the wrong shop, even though there was a waypoint.
It's fine. Man, these interiors... I like the overall stuff, but a lot of the interiors feel very drab and a little bit... I don't want to say scary, but haunted a little bit. Like, I want to get out of there and they're creepy 3D NPC models as quick as possible.
It's fine. I think you're just a wuss.
Yeah, well, I'm not debating that, but, you know. This man is clearly not Eggman. The egg hunt is not yet over.
Indeed.
Like, the top of his head sort of egg shape is just at the bottom where it goes a bit sort of ski with.
I mean, he's also... It's not quite the nose, but it's certainly relatively bulbous. He's also got small circular glasses that sit on his nose. So, I mean, like, yeah, there's a slight resemblance, but yeah, it's clearly not Eggman. He's too kindly.
Yeah, let's put it that way. He has no ripples? No, he does not have the Hamon. He lacks the golden nipples of Eggman's past, but... Yes, this is a Sonic game in which we have to find someone's stapler, and they're in the Green Hill Zone.
Of all the things that you can fucking nick, I mean, Jesus.
Let's see, his name's Sal, he's not the guy from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Wes Weasley, there you go, I had to figure out his name for a second there. Every time I think of great Sonic cosplays, I think of the dude who was at Summer of Sonic, the one year I went, who had an amazing Wes Weasley cosplay, and it was amazing. He didn't have, like, the extended nose or anything, but he was fresh as fuck.
I don't know, nothing will ever beat Stephen's Chris Thorndike in his 20s cosplay.
Yeah, the balls on that man, the chutzpah it took.
Oh, that was fucking beautiful. But yeah, we've got to go back to Green Hill because that's where we saw he run off to. And I did actually run past the guy earlier because they just spawned him in. But yeah, he looks a little bit lost and out of place here, you'll notice.
Oh my god, you're not wrong. It's like a sim walking about, oh Jesus, is this the Mafia?
The stapler stealing Mafia, yeah. No, he's just a tradesman and he sort of ripped this guy off. That's what's going on.
I could use a sack of tomatoes. Never know when you need to make the world's largest pizza.
I'll trade these tomatoes for your hat. Is that how your business works, sir?
Ah, yes, I see. No thanks. We're in a hurry. Also, you may have noticed, exclusive dialogue, because Cream was in the party. That's another thing I like about the actual characterization in the game. Character-specific dialogue.
I don't think there's that much of that, though, admittedly. There's a couple of bits here and there, but a lot of the time you can tell they've wrote around not having to address the optional characters in the party. Are we really threatening a guy for a fucking stapler? Is that what this story has come to?
Don't run around me so fast you'll basically bore me into the centre of the earth. Just take it back. Take it. Oh, I'll learn a wise lesson about fucking with Sonic's shitty friends.
Wait, hang on a minute. There's no staples in this thing.
Well, they came extra. Bye-bye. Scumbag the Swindler. My favourite Sonic character.
Basically. Now, how do I get back?
You could have just taken the aeroplane right next to Salback.
I could do, but then I wouldn't get the fun animation of Sonic running.
Oh god. Can you skip that?
You can, but why would I?
Well, I did ask you to record this for me. I suppose I have to put up with some things in life.
Yes, you do.
Hence, I'm learned compromise. You have to put up with my shitty sense of humour.
Hey, that works both ways, okay? Like, I have to put up with myself as well.
I got nothing to add to that.
There you go. Nice and simple, and to the point. Cream's not going to be doing much right now, but I sense her time is coming. That Chow is moments away from being in our party.
Yeah, I can't remember where it was I got it, but, like, you know, Cream in general is just useful to have. God, I love that so much.
Never underestimate how easily pleased we are by funny-looking 3D models on a screen.
So yeah, I'm just working my way back to it, and yeah, these overworlds, they're quite nice, but when you're running backwards and forwards through the same spot, yeah, you know, you sort of got to appreciate that.
Yeah.
He looks all like Goofy from a distance on his overworld thing. I don't know if you saw that.
No, because I don't equate Disney with Sonic, honestly.
Oh, I mean, at least I like Sonic somewhat.
You see, this Flame, this is why you don't have any taste.
I just really don't care for most Disney stuff. I'm sorry, I just don't.
Yeah, this is why, you know, we're not closer friends, because you're just like...
Oh, that's mean.
Yeah, like Jesus. Give up your heart, Richie. Become a nobody. Be friends with Flame.
It's fine. As long as people tolerate me, I'm happy.
Well, that's as good as you're gonna get, I think.
Nah, of course you me, mate, Flame.
I appreciate it.
So are we done with finding Eggman yet? Are we going back through the swamp and whatnot? Hey, the gun roadblock is gone! Are they even keeping tabs on the city anymore, or has it been deemed... what?
Wonder who that might have been.
Was it silver? It certainly looked silver, flashing by.
Well, no, I'm a little bit annoyed, because if you've played Sonic Adventure 2 or Shadow the Hedgehog, you know the trail that follows Shadow is meant to be yellow, but it wasn't there.
It's true.
They made a similar mistake in the IDW comics as well. They showed his trail as red when it's meant to be yellow, and I am butt mad as fuck about that. I hope you understand. Man, I wonder where it is.
Where could it be?
Could be like we just followed a trail here that took it with it.
Oh, man. Could it be up there? Perhaps we should save our game? Hey, Shadow!
Are you going to be nice to us, or are you going to start a fight? What's it going to be here, Shadow?
See, this art looks great. That is a bit weird. He looks like a little grumpy child throwing a tantrum.
Oh, I love that. I've been using that as my Twitter avatar lately.
Yeah, I've seen.
It's just the perfect art of Shadow, slightly irritated Shadow. There's slightly smug and cocky Shadow, which is also cool.
Yeah, that's like in the top percentage of Shadows, I think. Bottom percentage?
I don't know. It's not quite Joe's Rattata.
Yeah, I guess so. Alright, can you actually get out of this fight, or is it mandatory?
No, this is an optional fight. You can, with the right dialogue tree, you can skip the battle entirely, but, you know, I don't want to do that. I want to have a battle.
Yeah, you want to see what it's like on the other end of Shadow's attacks before we get him into the party.
Yeah, know what we're gonna be taking with us. Look at that fucking model.
Yeah, that's pretty awful.
It's like a dog with his face pressed up against a window pane or something.
Basically.
Alright, how does Shadow operate, Flame? Key us in.
Shadow uses his Chaos powers, so like the Chaos Spear, he's got a Chaos Rift attack, I think he's got Chaos Blast in this as well. They're basically what you expect from Shadow, really. His Chaos Spear attack is probably the most useful, especially once you've got Cream just refreshing him each time.
Yeah.
I love that there's an ability called Knuckle Sandwich, that's perfect.
You could have done a lot more there, but you only got 10. That's why you should always try your best when it comes to the QTEs.
That means trying, and it's not really a difficult battle anyway, so, you know.
Is this the game that treated Shadow's, like, Chaos powers the most seriously? Like, I don't think in any other game he gets this wide variety of, like, Chaos usages.
Well, he sort of does in Shadow the Hedgehog, because he's got his, like, Chaos Control as his hero thing, and he's got Chaos Blast as his villain thing.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a few extra things here, obviously, but, you know, he's had a fair few Chaos abilities throughout the series. He doesn't have his Chaos Motorbike here, though, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a shame. I wanted, like, his special move to be, like, Cream carries him up into the sky on the motorbike and just slams it down on the enemies and it explodes doing, like, area of effect damage, or splash damage, if you will.
How sick would that have been if when he was running away from us, instead of being in that spin dash, he was just, like, bolting past on his bike?
I mean,
and when we catch him, he just does that pulling up skid kind of thing, like, oh shit, I've been caught.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, he's slowly coming towards us.
Yeah, I'll really fuck that one up, but I don't care.
You're really shitting these. I'm not... What triggers the counter exactly? Is it just physical attacks?
Yeah, if he uses the counter attack, then when you use your standard attack on him, then you get hurt instead of him.
Okay.
Which is a little bit annoying in later bosses when, you know, you're trying to line up as many power moves as you can, and then when you've got that leftover attack slot that you want to just fill with a standard attack, it's like, that might backfire on you, so, you know, maybe defend yourself a bit.
Two things there. I love how you finished the battle just by, like, yeeting cheese at him. That was great. Number two, for beating Shadow, we got a prize of prune juice. Like, I get that he's old, but let's not stereotype him.
Oh, we get handed prune juice from a much worse place later on, I'll leave it at that.
I'm trying to remember. I don't actually remember, probably for the best, actually.
We'll see in Chapter 4. Okay, so this is the part where we've got the thing from Shadow and it's like, awkwardly, what do we do now?
Do we go back to town? Do we continue into the wilds, as it were? Maybe we should continue to look for Eggman, because this chapter is 3 parts long, so it's gonna be a big un. Maybe we should have brought Big with us so we can walk through the poo gas, but alas, not for now. We'll see you next time when Chapter 3 continues. Bye-bye.
Look at him, Ron.